Hi crafters, Amy here, and today I have a snarky birthday card to share, and I'm going to make it all with stencils, no stamping. So here I'm showing you the stencils that I'm using. This first set is called Marvelous Masks, and this is the deckled rectangle set. So as you can see in this set, you get 4 different sizes of this deckled rectangle, and you get the outer and the inner portion, so the positive and the negative space. And this is an older stencil from a Colorful Life Designs. This also is an older one. This is Buzzard Tree stencil, and then you also get the inner and outer portion of this stencil. And then new to the lineup is the Happy Birthday Yule Buzzard. So the sentiment stencil is actually new, and that's part of the February 2022 release at a Colorful Life Designs, and it went so perfectly with the Buzzard Tree stencil that I had to pair them together for this card today. So to start, you can see I have a panel. It's A2 size, 110-pound cardstock. It's Neenah Classic Crest Solar White, and I'm using the largest deckled rectangle, and I'm just doing some ink blending. So you can use some pixie spray to hold this down, but my magnets on my Wendy Vecchi station tool are doing fine for this job. So I'm just working through some different colors. These are Catherine Pooler mini inks, and I will link all the products that I used in the video description box below. So if you expand and scroll down, you'll find all that information there, as well as my coupon. So I am on the design team for a Colorful Life Designs. So if you use my coupon at checkout, you will save 10% on your complete order. So I'm just working through, I'm kind of thinking I want to do like a twilight sunset type of thing here. You can see I got a nice blob of orange there where I didn't blend very well, but that's okay. With the design that I have in mind, I know that I'm going to end up covering most of that. So I'm not too worried about it, and I'm just moving on. Now the teal here and the orange, I'm not overlapping too much just because those colors don't get along very well. They're kind of opposite on the color wheel. So whenever you blend colors that are opposite on the color wheel together like that, then you get kind of a muddy color. And I don't really want that, so I'm just kind of letting them hang out side by side but not overlap too much, so to speak. And then I'm going to come in with this darker navy color and just kind of, brush along the top part of the scene just to make that the richest, darkest color on there. So what this is going to do is create this nice white border that makes it look like you layered up the card, but you actually didn't. It just gives you the appearance of it, but it's still nice and flat. So I love these Marvelous masks. I have several of them, but in the shop, I'll link in the video description box below a link to all of the Marvelous masks in the shop. There's so many to choose from, and they're so fun and versatile because you can use them so many different ways. So I'll link some videos as well down below where I've used the Marvelous mask sets in different ways to give you some inspiration there. But here I line the outside of the Marvelous mask deckled edge back up over my panel, and then I put the little buzzard and a tree over it. Now the reason I did this is because you can see I have that tree design kind of coming over the edge where the white would be of the border, and I didn't really want it to come outside of that rectangle, of the ink blended rectangle. So I'm using that outer edge as a mask to protect the white portion and then keep this design only within that designated space, if that makes sense. So I have some black soot distress ink. This is not oxide, this is just distress ink, and I'm using that to kind of create a silhouette of this buzzard in this, craggly tree here. So I'm just going as dark as I can, but it's not going to be, a super rich black. It's still a little bit see-through, but that's okay. It kind of serves its purpose here. And then I line up this awesome new sentiment that goes with it so perfectly, and I'm figuring out where I want this placement wise, and I use some post-it tape just to kind of mask off the areas beside it because I don't want to accidentally get some of that black ink onto my beautiful blended panel here. So I'm just lining it up using my magnets to hold it down, and then the little bit of post-it tape here around the edges as well. So between the post-it tape and the magnets this isn't going anywhere. So again, I'm going to use that black soot again and just then ink blend, you know, quite a few times because I want this to be rich and dark. I don't want there to be any light spots with this. So I go over it a few times to really kind of, you know, saturate it with that ink and get the sentiment down. But again, I'm not doing any stamping here. This is the beauty of a cool stencil like this. You can get a sentiment right on the stencil as well as your design, and then you don't have to do any stamping, and this is nice and flat for shipping. So it's an easy, fun, snarky type of card to send for those loved ones in your life that you want to give them a little bit of grief for getting older. So someone like my dad would be funny, or my older brother would be fun to send this to. So I'm just going to use some adhesive and attach it to an A2 size card base of the same cardstock, 110 pound. Honestly, you could do this directly on the card base. I just didn't think to do it, but you could save paper and do it right on your card base and have it nice and flat and no bulk, good to go. So I hope you enjoyed this today. Be sure to check out the rest of the February 2022 release at A Colorful Life Designs. There's tons of awesome birthday card inspiration there. So please hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll check you next time. Thanks. Bye.